Part 2. Sam! Always the first. Mad respect. That's YouTube right there. That's the YouTube life. Hello and good afternoon, everybody.
Hello.
Live from the Lego studio. It is bag numero 4. Thanks for being here. Bag 4 is looking a little light. How's it today?
Monkey feet.
Sometimes. Lately it's been it's like I've been struggling with that foot in particular. I'm out of practice because I haven't been doing it as often. I have to get back into form. Hello, Ben.
Amy Multiple. Good morning, afternoon, evening. How are you doing, Amy?
Sounds like a movie. Amy Multiple, the movie. Right?
Could be.
It was about, I'll give you a couple guesses as to what it was about.
Let's see.
Multiple Amy's. It's gonna be hard to believe. But it was about multiple Amy's. Hello, Mukesh. Good evening, everyone. Slash afternoon. 5 o'clock is that kind of in-between point. Happy Saturday. Hope you're having a great weekend. And make sure you hit the like button on your way in. I'm ready to click and clack. You ready?
I'm all ready.
It's ready to. We're about to start clicking and clacking. Doo-doo Jones.
Hey, Dave.
That's what I've officially named.
Shy, how are you doing?
Shia. LaBouffe.
Jillaboof!
Jalabouf.
Artie used to call him like that. He'd call him that. He was like, Jillaboof! And then he didn't know that Shia actually watches the show and is a super fan and loved the fact that Artie did that. It was just...
Jillaboof.
Yeah, Jillaboof! Hello, Molly.
Molly, thanks for tagging us on the Instagram post of your new Harry Potter set. I saw that yesterday and I commented and I said, very cool. I said, V cool. Do you like watching the Lego streams? Excellent. I like building. Especially a set like this that has a destination. Pre-planned. Ready to occupy space. Oh.
Occupy! Space!
Occupy Lighthouse.
Occupy Lighthouse, that's good.
Hi, I'm here at the Occupy Lighthouse movement. Where one man has occupied this lighthouse.
On Wall Street.
He's
Since 2011.
He's like, fella, I think you're confused with what I do here. We hear that you're stuck out here. Is that the case? You've been banished to this island? Ah, the Ring of Power. Cast long ago. And remains a piece that Lego still uses all the time. That is...
Last year at Disney, hoping to meet Tom. This year's swimming in December for 11 days. You're visiting in December for 11 days. Okay.
You met Shia.
Last year.
LaBouffe.
LaBouffe.
Boom, boom,
You were watching me while you were building the Lego set? Well, thank you, Molly.
See? Look at that.
You know that. Look at that.
Now, would you look at that? Now, would you
Hello,
look at
Babcock.
that? Okay, this wants to go. Oh, we are dealing with the Lego Technic, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's favorite. Da 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 da. Okay, flick this and what? Something happened. And then we need to.
Dadalorian, welcome. How are you doing this weekend?
The Dadalorian. Cool. This is so cool. What an awesome little thing, all done like this. Sargento! What's up, Cheese Man? It's the Cheese Man. Suzanne Bob Babcock.
Babcock. When is Cornforth ever gonna come over here, Suzanne? We are gonna get the two of you here together as well. Because we get the two of you here together as well, I can go back to calling you Corncock. As is my way. Only one of you here, though, I gotta just call you Babcock.
What a fun last name to have as a child.
Can you imagine? Yeah, I asked her about that. It's like, how did her husband feel about that growing up?
It was a joyous occasion.
Sure.
And there was much merriment. Some lovely stuff down here at this lighthouse. Ooh, Dennis.
There's some lovely filth down here. Oh, who are you? I'm off. I'm your king.
Hello? Should we say hello first? She's gotta say, oh. Is that it? She just goes, who are you? You're the man, dude. You know that thing like the back.
So, and let me go back. Let me see. She says, oh. She might say hello. But then she says, who are you? I mean, she says it, she's like, kind of like in his face a bit. He goes, I am Arthur. I am your king.
Yeah.
And then they get into the thing. Well, who are the Britons?
Well, no,
we all are.
She said, didn't know we had a king.
I didn't know. Well, yeah, they get to that. But he's like, the
right
Britons.
Because he says,
Who are? She goes, who are the Britons? She goes, we all are, and I am your king. I didn't know we had a king.
Yeah. Who are the Britons? Who are the Britons? What, you are. Oh, crazy. Yeah, so Mike and Lisa.
Well, how'd you become king then?
watched
The lady of the lake, her arm clad in the purest shimmering samite, held aloft Excalibur from the bosom of the water, signifying by divine providence that I, Arthur, was to be your king. Listen, strange women lying around in ponds distributing swords is no basis for a system of government. Supreme executive power derives from a mandate for the masses, not from some farcical aquatic ceremony. Be quiet, etc., etc., etc.
Classical.
Well, I didn't vote for you. See, it starts with that. I didn't vote for you. Well, then how did you become king?
We are.
You don't vote for kings.
We're an autonomous collective.
We take it in turns to act as a sort of bi-weekly mentor. But all the decisions of that must be two-thirds majority in terms of a simple. Yeah, what's going on? Be quiet. Good people, I am in haste.
Oh, funny. Good people, I'm in haste. Who lives in that castle? No one. Well, who's your lord?
We don't have a lord.
I don't have a lord. Oh man, what a classic. Fantastic movie. Hello, Naomi. Wanted to say hi and bye.
No, did not see Black Adam, and I'm really not planning to.
Whack Adam, from what I heard so far.
Whack. Not
That's
even
what
the
I
good
heard
kind.
so far is it is whack.
It just it looks the preview has looked terrible all summer. I've had no draw whatsoever to. Nah.
It's not good. I heard.
It's like all the Snyder visuals in terms of the lighting and the the set design and but none of the violence or it just looks stupid. It looks stupid. The previews look stupid for 3 months.
Whack Adam.
No, haven't seen the Halloween movie yet either. I didn't even see Halloween 20. I have a feeling if I'm going to watch Halloween Ends, I need to see Halloween 20 first because that's the last one that Jamie Lee Curtis was in. If you're going to do it, watch the Jamie Lee Curtis ones and not the things in between, I suppose.
That is also getting very, very bad.
Oh, it's got to be terrible. It's got to be terrible.
They're talking right up in the same alley of everything.
The only
utter bastardization.
The only thing worth seeing in any of that is to go onto YouTube and watch John Carpenter's tour where he went around playing his score for all those movies and they're playing the clips in the background. If you want to see anything to do with any of that stuff, watch John Carpenter, the director and composer of all that music, playing his own music at the front of the stage and his clips behind him. You don't need any of these retread things. It's just terrible. Hey, Amy. Great to see you.
Amy Singular?
Amy, no, this is Amy. Yeah, this is Amy G. This is Amy. I don't know if I can say this here. I'll say it later.
Yeah. Halloween Forever is what it's called, right? Matt, did you see it?
It's called Halloween Ends.
Oh, I got you. Halloween Forever maybe is the one who's saying that you have to see. You said you didn't see the 20th, maybe?
It's called Halloween H20, Halloween 20.
H2O,
Yeah, that was about 10 years back? 8 years back? It's been a while. I didn't see that one.
Maybe Matt's just having an exclamatory statement like
Halloween Forever.
Halloween Forever. I'll just read it like that. Halloween Forever, man. Yeah, I heard that movie stunk from all my horror fans, all my friends were like, everybody got those friends, right? That are horror friends. They're like, I love this. I watched The Exorcist 15 times a Halloween.
I went to go see Halloween, not 3, but the Halloween. Well, it's 3 is the controversial one because 3 is the one that completely goes off book, where it's about they put on the masks and the kids get possessed. It has nothing to do whatsoever with the original storyline. It's the only one. And some people consider that one the best, but at the time it was really controversial because they don't even have Michael Myers in it. And they kind of did something like that a little bit with Friday the 13th. They did a 3D version. Friday the 13th Part 3 was in 3D, but it was not our 3D, not Avatar 3D. It was the blue and red 3D. It was that far back, and it was the first time they killed him, and he came back before the end credits, that kind of thing. Which has sort of become the hallmark of all these movies. There is no killing these people. But that was the first time they really did it.
Unkillable.
Plus, he had his mask off at the very end, all the way back at number 3, and that was like 2 or 3 years before Freddy Krueger. There was no Freddy Krueger at the time.
Yeah. There you go. That's true.
All we had was Halloween and Friday the 13th. That was it. You'll take these two and you'll like it.
Hello, Lego people, says Josh. Pat, my parents say hello to you as well.
Well, thank you, Molly's parents.
Molly's parents.
Anyone who is a fan of Wales, I'm a fan of theirs as well.
Oh, you're
Little
in
residents.
Welsh traffic control. Sorry, we're gonna lose you. Good to hear your voice, Wales. in Skyrim.
Yeah.
The tavern wench is yelling at me. You want to make a couple coins, do you?
Hello, Brian.
Brian, the legend himself. Brian, NASCAR fan. Brian, sports and entertainment. Brian's world. This man is he's been many.
Many.
I've been called many things. Some call me
Tim?
Brian. Oh, great wizard Brian.
You want to pillage an unsuspecting village. Not as sporting as pillaging a suspecting village. When they have kind of a shot. You'd be so drunk anyway.
What
It'd be all good.
Do with a
Drunken sailor.
Put him in the act until he's sober. Ow.
Ow.
Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. The Tale of the Lighthouse. Look at you guys are all going to gang up and pillage like pirates. So there's not a big old black pirate ship we're building here. I know I put you down that path with the sea shanties. But remember how gleeful those sea shanties
Hello, Max.
were.
Yeah, and then it started getting really dour. It started, little by little, it started turning all into like melancholy.
Damn, this thing is pretty. Bag 4. Excellent.
To Kent. Very nice. I've been to Kent. Briefly.
Kent. Where's that?
In England.
Where does it say? Do I have
Molly, she's talking about where they're going to go to instead of Wales.
Oh, gotcha. Kent. Proper just dude's name.
Clark.
My town, Garth.
Garth.
I'm from Garth. Garthlebrook. You know? Get it? Like Garth Brooks?
Get it?
Garthlebrook?
Get it?
Do you get that joke there? Isn't that there funny there?
We shall be free.
Shall overcome.
Little faith.
With a little love
Down.
and some tenderness. We'll need
And
it
the
by
thunder
tomorrow.
roll. And the lightning strike. You're live streaming the Celtics Orlando Magic game. Are you there, Brian? Brian, have your dad take you to Jernigan's. Go to the restaurant.
Jernigan's.
My absolute favorite restaurant is in that arena. Go up there. You'll get in. Say you want it. Say you want to eat at the buffet. Go make yourself a reservation. Eat good food. Sit at a courtside table. Well, a raised courtside table. I had no idea you were going. I would have told you to go do that in a heartbeat. I would have gone with you. That is my favorite restaurant. I can't even believe I'm not there tonight.
He's at the. So first thing first, if he was at the actual game, he'd be at the TD Garden because he's the Celtics.
Yeah, it's an away game. Magic is playing.
What
Celtics
I'm saying
tonight.
is that he's probably just means that he's just like live.
No, it's tonight.
Like,
It's
that's
tonight.
What I mean, but he's probably just like.
He's there and he's gonna film them from up in the stands.
No, like he's probably just gonna hang out at home and like. You know what I mean?
Are you at the game tonight?
Because did you see earlier he said he live streamed the Bruins afternoon day matinee game today?
Oh, all right. Well, I myself should have been at that game tonight, and I'm not. I'm going in December instead.
You haven't been there in a while. You love that place.
Went in April. Well, there hasn't been open. I went to the absolute last game of the season, so it hasn't been open since. They don't always have the restaurant open for preseason. So I just decided I'm going in December and February. I didn't even want to mess with. Yeah.
Sports and entertainment.
I literally these days I'm just there for the food. Actually, it's been many years since I've been there for anything other than the food. I go to the games that our former great players show up at on the away teams, so I can watch them again and remember what it used to be like.
Yep. Glory days.
Yep, pretty much.
Pass you by.
I don't know anybody on our team. I'm just following our former players when they come visit us on the visiting teams. But what's really good is like the major teams, like when the Celtics come there, they change the menu every night. So it's all going to be Boston food tonight. The whole thing will just be, even though they are, it's the Magic's restaurant, it's going to be all Boston food tonight, and it'll be well done. I was there on St. Patrick's Day where Boston played us, and it was one of my favorite things they did. They did a blue cheese coleslaw that was just insane. I mean, it's just great. It's a great place. They're very creative in how they put together their menus. I accidentally sent Tom 2 PayPals, but one is for you, Pat. I clicked his name twice by mistake. Hey, it's understandable. I would have done the same thing.
Shia.
Thank you.
So go towards Legos. The Lego Adventure. There are some sets out there.
The sets are out there. Californication.
California love.
Does it sound like I haven't slept in 48 hours? It should, because I haven't.
Sleep is not something that you've ever desired.
It hasn't. But sleep and exertion combined, it does catch up.
Sleep exertion.
Sleep exertion, yeah, every once in a while.
We're all familiar with sleep exertion. Manual laborers out there. The manual laborers. Tom, my friend Ella Barker sent me a message on Instagram the other day.
So you are at your house, Brian. Okay.
I'll check that out. I like this.
I like it. I like it.
This is VQ. Thank you. Everybody was saying that.
Hello, Kaylee. On behalf of Thomas and myself.
Kaylee.
you guys see the new Lego Razor Crest? $599.
The UCS Razor Crest. Of course, yeah, it's at the Lego store. It's a little big and kind of silly, but Lego's gone over the top with UCS. You know, way too many, far too many, man. I got too many, and they're way too expensive.
And not too expensive. So you're watching the disc that we had here, or did you bring it up on just on your online stuff? Because I know we've got that disc here.
Oh, wow, I didn't think about that.
That's one of the few ones we got, really. Ultimately, that's one.
That's funny. I didn't even think about that, dude.
Plus, you got the script in there.
Yeah, I could have read along. Could have been like, hey.
The mooses have been sacked. Everyone responsible for the sacking has been sacked.
The sacking of the people who were sacked have now been sacked.
O Lord, we thank thee that in thy mercy splat. Jesus.
Yeah.
Hello, silly English pig.
Please, best moments.
I saw you both had the Ghostbusters singer at Epcot. Yeah, you know, Molly, I was supposed to go see that, and that's not happening. Instead, I'm going to go see. Tried but True. Probably the 12th time I've seen him. I'm going to go see our old friend.
That's something strange.
Yeah, Ray Parker. This is his first year, but I'm going to Billy Ocean. Billy Ocean has never failed me yet.
There's something strange.
If there is any reason to be grateful you weren't alive in 1984, is that you were not around for that summer when that was the only song playing on every station for 3 months straight. Woo! How painful. How painful that was.
The season finale of House of the Dragons was pretty good. That hasn't happened yet.
I like how you said that.
The House of the Dragons has not occurred. As I call the show, Dragoons.
Dragoons.
That's tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Who will survive?
Who will survive in America?
Got it early, dude. I got the whole ninth season. Not ninth season. I got the whole 7th season early. I knew that the Viserion was coming out of the ice before the show even started. Still didn't make it any better. But you did like it. Good. I'm happy to hear that. It has a lot to live up to because the first season of Game of Thrones was just about the most perfect thing you've ever seen in your entire life. That was a banger, as the kids say. Scooby-Doo.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here with us again for the second night in a row. Look at this. Two-peating. Not on for 2.5 months, now we're on 2 nights in a row. That's how it works.
We're gonna get this thing built.
That's how it works.
You heard? We're gonna get this thing built.
Built!
Built on.
Any birthday highlights? I was telling Tom the highlights beforehand. I'm not telling you guys.
Built on.
He got an earful about the highlights.
Pat.
And it remains between us.
I like that Steve already knew you well enough.
Oh, they know. They hear. I don't tell them, but they know. Because I'm basically driving there at the end of each stream. They can tell. They know. They're not stupid. But no details, no.
You left me here alone with Steve?
Steve?
Bobby, they ever catch that gorilla that done escape from the zoo and punch you in the eye?
Of course we're going to, Brian. It's inevitable.
No, Mama. The search continues. only get hints, Mukesh. Oh, I know. I've seen some of Pat's streams. I come in and I hear things. I've seen and heard things over there. Y'all, you doing your thing. Y'all doing your thing. Okay, I see y'all. We'll be over here, okay? Y'all keep... Sorry, I'm just across the street. Like, all right, we get it. I see y'all doing your things over there with all that business. Okay?
All right, Medea.
There's a Christian house. We don't get into that business over here. Listen, I bought the box set of those movies, and anytime that I can laugh and pray in 90 minutes, that's money well spent.
Actually, my favorite parts of those movies is when she misquotes every misquote of the Bible. When she just starts extemporaneously pulling Bible verses that are nowhere close. That's the best thing she does.
Listen, I bought the box set of those
Anytime for laugh and pray.
At Walmart. And listen, anytime that I can laugh and pray in 90 minutes, that is money well spent.
He owns a movie studio. It's crazy. A giant movie studio.
You know, you people are fun, Darnell. Can I say that? We'll give you a pass this time. There it is. This is the access hatch. So the hatch just goes, boop, John Locke style.
I was going to say the hatch. There you go.
We do that John Locke style. Just pop it off. Sorry, Boone. You're dead now.
Poor Boone.
Sorry, Boone.
Boone and your host sister.
Yeah, Boone. Maybe next time you won't be so...
So you weren't even watching that when she was in all the controversy of even being on it in the first place. That's when she was like... She was a mess, that one, the sister, and she became the mess during that first season, all in the tabloids and stuff.
Really? So why did she get hired to do Taken?
I know. As a 16-year-old girl. So they dropped her back, like, 10 years in age. She was a teenager suddenly. Taken was like kind of her redemption. It was about 3 or 4 years later, the first one. And I have no idea. I don't know why they risked it on her, but she was fired. From they killed her off, but she was fired. She was just such a pain.
Liam Neeson doesn't know who you are or what you want. But he does have a particular set of skills that make him a nightmare for someone like you. I don't have any money. But what I do have
is Famke Janssen as a wife.
Her particular set of skills. It's me, Qui-Gon.
Every time I see her, I don't think X-Men. Every time I see her, I think Rounders. She was like my primary memory of Rounders. As much as I like that movie, it's like, well, who is that? Who is that? And why isn't she in every scene?
Who that? They do that. I-G-G-Y. Do that. Who that? I'm starting to accumulate the extras. Extras. Ba 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 ba.
Wow, that's a lot of extras.
Uh-huh. Always, man.
Wow.
Never ending little bits.
Little bits. Little bit.
Little bits.
That's the name of our cat in New Orleans.
Good for your little bits.
I hated that cat.
I hated little bits.
I totally did. Worst cat ever.
Man, I hated little bits. He was a little bitch. 30 minutes in? Yeah, 35. That's good.
You could do it.
Drop one B on him. You can drop a B on him.
Usually we change it to the S word mostly.
Arrgh. Just pirate.
Arrgh. Arrgh.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Are you off today, Steve? Steve. Are you off today? It's Saturday. People are at the zoo.
Saturday.
Well, you know, they're at the zoo and they're at the
Went
farmer's
on
market.
down to the Audubon Zoo, and they all asked for you.
You
The lion's ass, tiger's ass. They even inquire about you.
Benny and the Jets.
I sure did, John. Thank you. It was fantastic. Couldn't have been any better if it tried. For the ages. Went out with a bang. A Moab Sue, you know she's in it in a magazine. Benny and the Jets.
Yeah.
Oh dear, Brian's got a novel going. Molly, how is Wales? Just paper collection. Hey Dawn, how are you?
Dawn. Good to see you 2 days in a row, even though you don't even like the Legos. Shiver me planks. Ah, the door. Ah, to Narnia. Mr. Tumnus.
Aslan!
Aslan. Neeson again.
Yeah. I come from. It says so. Like my first experience of Liam Neeson was in 1988. He was what was that? He was in a superhero movie, crazy superhero movie. I get the name of it, and it was so bonkers. Superhero 1988. Darkman 1990. Francis McDormand. Liam Neeson, weird movie. I'd never seen him before. Darkman, and it's like this. They very much were kind of aping the Tim Burton style at the time. It's really dark and but cartoony at the same time, and he's just so strange. Well, dark like for like the lighting. It looked very much like the Tim Burton's lighting in the.
Surprise, Darkman.
Well, but the character was goofy. Yeah, I see exactly what you're doing. The character was goofy. It wasn't even a dark character. It was just like, it's like, where's Batman? Batman would look so much better in this set. He looked like a mummy. He had like wrappers on his face. Yeah, I mean he kind of looks like a Rorschach. They were doing it was like a broke ass version of Rorschach before Rorschach's movie time.
Sure. I can see that. Bricks.
Liam Neeson takes new comedy direction as he is set to star in the Naked Gun reboot. How about that? Yes, there's something that we really don't need to be rebooting. Those movies are pretty darn good with as is. Of course, they're full of OJ. Moody. I should have said moody, not dark. It's moody, atmospheric.
Poor OJ.
I remember watching the preview for the third one, and it got the biggest laugh. And this was like really, literally months before everything happened. That third one came out. He walks into a scene. He's just got like the biggest hair. He can't get through the door, and that was in the preview. And the whole theater is dying. Little did they know. Little did anybody know.
Months.
Within months. They still have his name and his number retired up at Rich Stadium on the side of the building with everybody else.
Making him the only murderer.
Yeah. Well, I don't actually. I probably don't know about that. Just the only allegedly kind of caught.
He's gonna get back to doing what he does best. Stabbing people. Oh.
Alright, let's see. What's everybody saying in the chat?
Steve said his daughter is sick.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So that they're posted up watching us clicking.
Hope you feel better.
Watching us click and clack. Watching the clicks as they clack.
I'm watching it too.
So
This is just as interesting to me.
slowly but surely it comes together. Bit by bit. Steve, my hero. Oh, and Steve also said he was drinking a bunch of margaritas with Patron shots.
I think Patron's overrated.
Patron!
Way back when I didn't know any better, when I was really young, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is the best." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." But then the more I started,
Becoming a connoisseur.
yeah, it was like
of
it's
the
like
alcohol.
this is kind of like the cores of. This isn't all that great, actually.
I like to taste the mountain. I like to taste the Rockies.
Taste the Rockies.
Taste of the Rockies, man. Love this stuff. I like the music. It's reminding me of one of the reenactment days. Oh, there it is. I got you. At Dover Castle. Oh, we get to watch them all just slay each other with big swords. Ride for ruin, ride for wrath. And the red sun rises. Right out for me. It's good for mixing. Mixing margaritas. Why don't you put salt and sour mix and salt in it? Doesn't much matter what it was. Could be the most bottom of the barrel.
Interesting noise.
Thought of something.
That was good.
Had a good little.
I like that. I like your little individual sort of
Yes,
your like
yes, I
laugh
do.
queefs out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
sure. Yeah, okay. That's a good enough one. Outspurts. Good tequila is Don Julio 1940 Deuce. Pat'll tell you if he likes that one.
I've never tried it.
Never had it, bro. This man's got the blue tequila going up right here already. You know, if you want a tequila, you just crack the azul. Don Juan Julio. Tequila. Ha-ra-cha-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Ha-ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Pew-pew-pew-pew. Do-dee-doo-dee-doo-doo-doo. Tequila. Go-go-go-go-go-go.
Dover Castle, the white shores of Dover.
Cliffs of Dover.
Cliffs of Dover. Thank you.
Huh?
You're correct. It's
Not the
cliffs.
same thing. You say shores.
I said shores.
Shores. We got shores, cliffs, right?
It is cliffs, though.
It's the shores everywhere. Yeah, the cliffs of Dover.
That's the name of it. That's the proper title.
It's a song.
Yep. Perhaps it's even a shanty.
Ashanti. Throw a coin to your witcher. Oh, Valley of Plenty. You ever watch that show?
3 coins? No, I didn't. I'm not much for Cavell.
Who's your Superman?
Honestly, Christopher Reeve. As goofy as those movies became, the fact that Darth Vader trained him and in 6 weeks got him that body, instead of the pads they were going to give him, that has always impressed me.
Christopher Reeve. Dover Castle is on top of the white cliffs of Dover. On clear days, you can see France. From it, you can see France across the English Channel.
I know. I took the hovercraft across from France to Dover. It was wild, great, an amazing experience. Amazing experience.
Cliffs of Dover.
We took a bus to London. Hovercraft to a bus. That was really a decompression, bringing you right back to reality.
Christopher Reeves and Michael Keaton are your Batman and Superman. There you go.
Well, honestly, I do like I liked the Nolan Batman better.
So your Batman's Christian Bale.
It is.
For me,
I did like Michael Keaton, but the thing is, this is another thing you would know because this was before your time. But 1 year after Beetlejuice turning to Batman, it was again a big controversial turn that it was going to be him. People hated that when it came out; they loved it. But I mean, he's way better as Beetlejuice. And the Batman problem is the villains have always been more interesting than the hero, and that has been the bane of the entire series. And it really was heightened when Michael Keaton was Jack Nicholson just outshined him all the way through. No one was outshining Beetlejuice. He was he was barely in the movie, and when he was in it, he just lit it up. His Batman didn't do that though.
Dale.
Dale.
That's so funny. That's a great scene. Daylight come and we want to go. Gal Gadot could beat you up any day.
She could beat any of us up.
So she's your Wonder Woman there as well.
Hey, Linda Carter still looks good.
Oh,
Still, all these decades later, Linda Carter still looks good.
So you can't even do the hovercrafts anymore. There you go, Pat. You did something that doesn't even exist.
It was so long ago. I mean, I was like 10 years
Now
old.
you can do them at the Isle of Wight.
10 years old. It was a different time.
the
They weren't even
Isle-
so much hovercrafts as they were on skis.
The Isle of Wight.
It's pretty wild. I don't know if you've ever seen those boats. It's like a cruise boat on skis. It's crazy. Yeah, the voice is a problem. See, I would have liked Val Kilmer's a whole lot better, except he didn't distinguish his Batman voice from his Bruce Wayne voice at all. It was the same voice, or else I'd have him a little higher on the list, even though he only did it once. It was an awful movie, though. The third one was terrible. Third and fourth one were terrible. And that's Kevin Smith brought up like the funniest point though when the Bane thing came out. When he's reading Commissioner Gordon's letter, he's reading it with his mouth completely covered as a voiceover and trying to be all, you know, you can't see a thing his face is doing. I'm like, I knew something was wrong with that scene. I knew it was hilarious, but I couldn't pinpoint exactly what it was, and that's it. That is it. He's saying this with a freaking Hannibal Lecter mask on, and he's reading a 4-minute speech. Just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Ugh.
I was born in it.
The 89 Batman was the first movie you saw in the theater? Wow. See, that summer, I mean, even before Batman came out, the week before Batman came out, Dead Poets Society came out. And I was working at a camp, and we all went to go see that on the first night. And then a week later, it's like Batman took over everything. And that was the first time. This is how long. It's amazing to think of movies in these terms, or money terms. Now with how much movies gross sometimes in the opening weekend, it was the first time in history a movie made $50 million in a weekend. And it was in every single theater to do that. It had to be in everything. There was like nothing else playing. No other, really, they didn't have anything else playing. Maybe one or two things. Every theater had Batman in it that first weekend. That was it. You were going to see it at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, whatever it was. That was the first time that was happening too, that they had so many people waiting that late at night. $50 million. No movie's ever going to be bigger than this. Crazy. Hey, Lindsay. Hey, now Cornforth's here. Now we've got the pair. I was asking for you earlier, Lindsay. You're both here. I do like Michael Keaton. You know, I like Michael Keaton a whole lot better now. I like how he's reprising these things now. And even though the Batgirl movie fell through, I'm kind of glad. It sounded like it was gonna be terrible. It would have been very interesting to see him reprise himself in that as Bruce Wayne. But almost kind of like last night with Kevin. It was like you're finally bringing back Michael Keaton's Batman, and it's in this terrible Batgirl movie that they've shelved and don't even want to show. They're not gonna of all things to bring him back, and it's gonna be this. So hopefully they will do it again the right way with a better quality story.
He was good as Vulture too.
He was great as that. He was great in Birdman. I mean, the thing he was up for the Oscar for was just a total riff off of superhero movies, and in that way, even better because it was meta, looking at it from a step beyond. That was kind of the resurgence of him in the last decade. He'd fallen off the map. Mr. Mom. Thank you, Steve.
Go ahead, honey. I'm gonna have a little chat with Peter here.
Yeah. What a great scene.
Oh my God.
What a great scene. Great scene. And that's another reason why I'm not going to go see Black Adam, because the whole thing with Hawkman just looks so goofy. After the masterful inclusion of Vulture in the Marvel Cinematic Universe via Sony, they've got this Hawkman that is just so cliched looking, so cliched acting, so cliched talking, and I've only seen like 10 to 15 seconds of it in the trailer. I want no more of it. It's just like, this is what you're doing? Take a lesson. You've not learned anything yet. You've not learned anything, DC Cinematic Universe. When's any of this going to seek... Well, at this point, Marvel's really not learning from themselves either, but... DC, you've never learned it.
The DC-matic Universe.
Yeah, whatever they're calling the damn thing now. Hero. A bag within a bag within a bag.
Man, I'm a dude playing a dude, disguised as a dude, dressed up as another dude. Man, they found me in Miami in a cardboard refrigerator box. trying to re-enter the atmosphere. I am not Sergeant Lincoln Osiris. Nor my Father O'Malley. Or Nidia Armstrong. So good. It's hard to believe that's, you know.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. That's probably Robert Downey Jr.'s best role of all time right there. Crazy how good he is in that movie. It's another movie that I guess, I don't know, when people see it, I just feel like when they watch it for the first time, most people just don't get it. In the way that it seems to hit me.
He was, I mean, and we keep forgetting now, not we, but I mean people who are, everyone is just, that he was poisoned for 20 years. You know, he was in Linklater movies that you know, as low budget as they get, because just no one would take a chance on him. And now it's just amazing to look back and see just how, what could have been. You know, what if he had actually had access to the roles 20 years before that he should have. Because he's always been that good.
Dad, do I have to pay you any money, any cash, any dough for your signature blue hat?
No, Brian. Brian, your money is no good here.
No cash, no money, no dough? None of those things? Why don't you bring him a slice of pizza? In a Ziploc.
Okay. Brian, would you like a slice of pizza in a Ziploc?
No, he's gonna bring it to you.
Oh, he's gonna bring it to me?
Yeah.
Brian, would you like to bring me a slice of pizza in a
You gotta
Ziploc?
bring Pat a New England slice of pepperoni pizza
Hi, Cindy.
in a Ziploc. And you gotta hold it the whole way down.
And I'll know if you put it down.
Yeah.
I can tell these things.
Pizzas, that's obvious. Cindy Poirier. How are you doing, Cindy Poirier?
Disguised as another dude. What's y'all's favorite movie of all time? I don't think of them in that way. I have to kind of categorize it by decades, honestly. So I can tell you the movies that I've liked best of the last couple decades, but I couldn't tell you my favorite of all time. I don't think.
There can only be one.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Favorite movie of all time.
Can't do it. Can't do
And it does not share power.
it. Well,
The Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie of all time, without questions. Because, in my opinion, it is the greatest story of all time. But I like Saving Private Ryan. That is a banger.
did you see that in the theater?
I may have.
Yeah, it's okay. That was an amazing movie in the theater.
My dad might have dragged me along to the theater to
Yeah.
see Saving Private
Yeah,
Ryan.
that was a good one to see in the theater. Because it sure as hell made the rounds on TBS and all those things in the years after. But to actually see that on a big screen, that final scene where they morph his face, it's amazing.
Another great choice there by Polly Steve on the singular greatest movie of all time. There is such debate for Jaws. Absolutely.
The first blockbuster, without a doubt, is the first blockbuster, the opening to that era of our cinematic history.
What is a movie supposed to do? What is a story supposed to do? Teach you something? Yeah, sure. Those are more like life lessons, like the Bible. That's, a good story should enthrall you and capture you and entertain you beyond belief. And that is what Jaws is one of those things that's like, It's visceral. You're just the whole time, you know, you're in it to win it. You want to know. And the fact that they don't show the shark for so long.
That's right. That's the genius. And that genius is so genius that he translated it even further in his own way in Jurassic Park. That entire philosophy of you're not going to get the goods, your imagination is going to play a huge part of what this is. We're going to show you something practical, we're going to show you something special effect, but mostly it's going to be your imagination scaring this up.
You do plan to have dinosaurs. You do plan to have dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour, right? Brokeback Mountain's Dave's favorite movie.
I don't doubt it.
I can tell after the day you had together.
No, you did. You're absolutely right.
I got you.
It was absolutely right.
Dude, I went to see that. I thought it was a Western. I went to see that movie. I thought it was a Western. Everybody told me it was a Western. You know, little did I know what I was in store for, you know? When I see a Western, I want to see like a guy in a white hat and a guy in a black hat like having a shootout. You know, not what I saw. Not what I saw in that movie. That's not what I want to see.
You know, Dave's actually a you fan. He found me through you. He's met you in the park at Disney Springs a few times.
Yeah, I recognized him.
Yeah, he's a Tom fan.
Quint and Hopper are opposites. That's true. Jaws is not just a good movie, man. The Peter Blunchley novel is, again, in all the things I've read in my life, that is one of the most, again, it's so, and I can't think of a better word than visceral. You read it, and it's got this, it makes you feel this way that, like, blood and guts makes you feel when you look at it. It is unbelievable.
You know, it's a Crichton movie a Crichton novel before Crichton started writing, really.
Yeah, oh god.
That's why it pairs so well with Jurassic Park, because they're both kind of pulpy novels in their own way, but they're brilliant pulpy novels, and the style is so similar. What they're showing, what they're not showing, what they're describing and not describing, and they just take the source material and just make it soar.
Dude, this set apparently has stickers.
Really? We haven't. I guess you find them when you find them.
I highly doubt that. Wow, you've got to be kidding me right now. There is actually no. Oh!
Get them?
Look at what I found, though. The piece that I thought was missing.
For today.
So, Lego has
We still haven't found yesterday's missing piece.
No, that's the one.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
So it's been on the ground all night?
It was on the ground. That is the exact...
Yesterday, we thought there was a missing piece. We're looking for it. Thought maybe it was in another bag, and it's been on the ground the entire time.
Lego has still never let us down on that, but that doesn't solve the conundrum.
But
the conundrum of
I like big butts.
Where are the stickers?
Donde
Because
está?
I pulled everything out of here multiple times. Gotta be in one of these boxes or something.
Wow. Is it listed on the front of the box as being in there?
No. I mean, eventually you get to the step and you'd be like, hopefully you haven't thrown
Thrown it all out yet,
'cause
yeah.
It was a month ago that you started this,
Yeah.
like most people would.
Wow.
That's funny. Sea shanties, Lighthouse songs, Celtic music, it's all the same kind of stuff. So we're looking for like, I'm loving this conversation. Never considered the similarities of Jaws and Jurassic Park. Sure. Well, I mean, they're monster movies. Right? At the end of the day, they're two monster movies. You might not think of them that way, but that's what they are. The focus of, when everybody walked out of... I mean, Bruce the Shark might not... He's more of a villain than the T-Rex is, because the T-Rex technically saves the day. Technically, Your Honor, the T-Rex is a good guy now.
Wipe your blood off. Wipe your friend's blood off.
Consistently saving the day. Sustained. Well, move your friend Scott's blood around with your finger so you can read it. Can you believe this, sister? Get out my face. Oh man, I'm all out again. Oh man, I'm loving this conversation. Oh man. Yo, movies. Pat loves movies. He'll talk to you about movies all day. He's seen all the movies.
This is true, Tommy. Good point. Imagine if just out of nowhere we're standing in the kitchen and I go, "This is true, Tommy."
That's true, Tommy.
I think I called you Tommy once and you laughed so hard I never said it again.
Yeah, no, Tommy's a weird thing to hear. Jimmy calls me Tommy. He's the only person that says it.
Well, it was Alex who was saying it all the time when he was in here. That's why I said
sure,
that's,
Alex too does.
so that's what, so I said it once and I was just like, this just doesn't even feel right. You're not Tommy. You're Thomas. Good night, Molly.
What's your favorite movies? We said our favorite. Pat didn't, but you guys can tell us your favorite movies. Pat's got too many movies. He'll tell you his favorite movie from the past 2 decades. Go ahead, because you got to do a decade.
The best, I'll say the best.
Of the 2000 and...
2000, 2010. The best movie I saw.
2010.
Still not favorite, but the best, the most cinematic, the best put together movie that I saw of the last 11 years now, was 2011, was Tree of Life. Brad Pitt, Jessica Chastain, etc., etc., etc. Of the 2000s, it's a tie between Mulholland Drive from David Lynch and Donnie Darko. Those are the two most cinematic, most creative films that I saw of the opening decade.
There you go. Donnie Darko, the cult classic. Jake Gyllenhaal.
That's right. That's where you got to start. And Maggie. They're both in it.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Playing brother and sister.
The Notebook is your favorite movie. Well, look who's back again. Jake Gyllenhaal. No, that's Ryan Gosling.
It's Gosling and Moore.
Goslings. Yes, The Notebook, a classic movie. What a fantastic...
My best comedy for me is always going to be a tie between Animal House and Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Greatest comedy of all time. Dave, why? What's your favorite comedy of all time? The best comedy of all time, and I have to stand by it forever, is Tropic Thunder. I've never seen anything that's funnier than that, pound for pound. Especially just having watched back Python, dude. Oh my god, it doesn't even come close. That movie comes from such a... even the funniest moments of most movies come nowhere close to even the subtle moments of Tropic Thunder. And it's blatant, and it's kind of like Jerry Seinfeld wouldn't like it type humor, it's too... But that's the kind of the world we live in. If you think of who are the best comedians, right? Like of all time, it's the George Carlins, it's the Dave Chappelle's, it's not really like the Jay Leno's and the guys, the Seinfelds, the guys that kind of keep it clean. It's more that. So I think the best comedy has to have an edge to it. Good question. Because, there are so many movies that people think are super funny, right? Airplane.
Nah, I mean...
Naked Gun, the whole series. I mean, there are movies that people think are the funniest movies ever. Right? I mean, that's just... It's hard to measure comedy. But as I like to imagine myself a student of comedy, I feel like comedy, pound for pound, has to have some level of shock. You know, it has to have some shock value to it. Comedy, real good comedy. Like, not why did the chicken cross the road? You know, I get why that's funny. But a super funny joke has to have a little bit of kind of... Mikey G, the Aquanaut.
Mikey, are you here? Happy birthday 2 days ago. How are you, Mikey?
Happy 2 days.
What a beautiful photo you sent of your of the leaves turning up there. My God, amazing. Just a nice day of walking around and hey, look at this, his new neighborhood.
God bless America, right? The beautiful. That's why they call her that right there, not because of these swamplands. That's why they call America the beautiful.
He escaped from the swamplands, and that's what he escaped to.
Well, that's the pretty stuff. Sad thing is that right after all that gorgeous stuff comes the shit. Snow, pretty, but hard to deal.
Tennessee's not too bad in that department. Tennessee is manageable, and for the most part. Not that he's in Tennessee, but I'm saying that's if I was to ever go to a northern state, a slightly northern state from here, I'd probably end up in Tennessee because I know that I can deal with their winters is just enough. Same with the parts of North Carolina around the Triangle, it's not that bad.
So typical for girls to love the Notebook. Yeah, it is. It's a classic movie though, right? Like that's an idea that most girls really kind of fawn over. And it makes sense because that's like the definition of hopeless romance, right? Is that you never talk to somebody but you just stay in love with them forever. Like that's like every girl's fantasy, literally. Some guy who looks like Ryan Gosling or whatever, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Brad Pitt, Ryan Gosling, and he's gonna just wait around forever. Forever. He's just like, yeah, I'm chilling. No, I just thought about you the whole time. I swear to God, it's weird. Just kidding. It is. I like it. Not poking fun. Poking fun. 80s, 16 Candles. Dave also loves Animal House. Host, what is the one movie that no matter how many times you see it, it moves you so much you cry?
Oh, Trip to Bountiful.
Trip to Bountiful. For me, it's the Christmas Shoes, says Eric.
Trip to Bountiful.
I'll get boring at that point.
It's insane. I can't even watch it. Can't even watch the end of it. Is just so ooh. I watched it once, and I can't even. Whatever. So let me think of another one. There's a part of Schindler's List when Liam Neeson is going through and after he'd done so much, he's thinking of all the things that he didn't do, all the other things he could have sold, and he's like beating himself up. That scene gets me. Yeah, there's a few.
For Eric, it's the Christmas Shoes. Is that based on the song?
Eric, have you ever seen?
Mama wanna buy these shoes.
Oh, I don't know if this is based on this.
Is it based on the song?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
Isn't that the song, Christmas Shoes? Mister, can I buy these shoes for my mama, please? Is it based on that, Eric? I don't know what the hell the Christmas Shoes is. I never heard of it. Who's in it? You seen it?
No.
The Christmas Shoes. It's got to be a Christmas movie.
Yes, Hitchhiker's Guide is pretty damn funny. The PBS version, not the movie with
Simon Pegg.
your boy.
No?
Your boy Bilbo. They didn't. It was that was. I was thrilled when they picked him to be in that movie, but it's just too short. They cut. It's
I've never seen that.
on PBS. It was a 10-hour miniseries, and they turned it into a 90-minute movie. That's just not going to work. Not going to work. But they picked Martin to be the main character. I was like, all right, maybe this has a chance. It's just because he's great. He's the perfect choice of the main character. They just didn't have the time to flesh out that book.
Host, yes, the movie is based on the Christmas song you were just singing. Wow.
Hey, you're host here now.
There's a movie. Well, yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's so wild to hear someone else called host. I kind of like it.
Reading what
It's taking the responsibility off my shoulders every time I hear it.
Just reading what I see, like Ron Burgundy. The only movie that has ever made me cry, ever in the history of crying, or movies, is the same old answer, man. I got nothing new for you. It's Lord of the Rings. It's the only thing I
Yeah,
ever
the scene,
my eyes up.
the scene with especially when he's carrying, it's like
20 times I've seen that movie. I die every time. At the end, I just fall apart.
And I just remember, I've told you this before, I remember Peter Jackson 2 years beforehand saying, well, he didn't. He couldn't say it until after they released it. He said, we've been wanting to show you and talk about this scene since 2001. And we couldn't talk about it. We couldn't bring it up. We couldn't even allude to it. But we have been waiting for this more than we've been waiting for anything else. And that's why, I mean, they had they were basing Sean Astin's entire, they did put a big push and a lot of money into promoting him for Best Supporting Actor simply for that scene, if nothing else. It was all over the place. Like for Rudy, like they spent a lot of money on Rudy many years earlier. They wanted him to be nominated for Best Actor, but they really pulled out the stops. I remember Variety, every other ad was for your consideration, for your Sean Astin for that scene. I mean, if they can give the Oscar to Princess Diaries for singing that terrible song in one take from Les Miserables, they could have certainly given it to Sean Astin for something that had been built up for 3 years and actually had an emotional resonance with like the global filming community when they watched it.
Oh, thank you. The bottle. Oh, the drinking bottle.
Easy Rider's a tough film. I mean, it's schlocky. They didn't spend any money on it. It's a cult classic in its low budgetness, and it's just like, I don't know. A lot of people love it though. A lot of people are like, that's a quintessential 60s movie, but it's sloppy. A lot of movies in the 60s are sloppy. So are the 70s. They had not gotten the color down right yet with 16 millimeter or 35 millimeter. It all looks terrible. Unless it's The Godfather or The Exorcist or something that they spent a ton of money on, all those films look terrible. They just were not shot right. Color did not start looking good in film until Spielberg at the very start of the 80s. His use of lighting in film just completely changed what color movies looked like. So 70s movies and 60s movies look extremely dated, and Easy Rider is like the epitome of that. It just looks terrible. Unwatchable almost. Hey, Amanda. The first Harry Potter and the first Transformers.
Harry Potter?
We were talking. Yeah, Steve, we brought up Deer Hunter yesterday. I've never watched it. He was saying, "What's a big film that your big cinematic sin?" And the first thing I said was, "I have not seen the Deer Hunter." And I love dark movies, so I don't know. I've just never have.
Now you gotta watch it, right?
Well, I mean, I guess at some point. I'm more interested in the Deer Hunter because the opening third, almost half of it, is a wedding at the start. Because they had to balance out all the darkness of the second half with this wedding that's, in present time. And I actually think that's kind of brilliant. So I'm more interested in it for the non-war parts than I am for the stuff that has already been spoiled so many times that it's not like it's going to be that much of a surprise.
Is your favorite movie the first Transformers because you were in it, Shia LaBeouf?
Well, good one.
That was your favorite because you were The Star, along with Bumblebee and Megan Fox.
From down
That
the
Megan
down the
Fox.
street from where you were living.
Not crazy new Megan Fox, who's a mess, but old Megan Fox.
Something tells me she's a bit of a mess back then as well. Just
Hasn't gotten there yet.
it hadn't reached its full blooming potential.
Blood sucking type where she's at now. Vampire life. She hadn't quite become a vampire yet.
You know, Angelina Jolie, when she was with Billy Bob Thornton, they were doing the same thing.
Sure, there you go, right?
Same thing. Back before she was how we know her now, they were the exact same kind of crazy.
She's a little freaky too. Angelina, she's a little freaky freak. But sometimes they're fun to watch. Sometimes it's fun to watch. Debate me, coward. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah, that's a banger. But also, if I'm not mistaken, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was a book again. All these are good books before they're movies.
Yeah, Kid Kesey.
Yeah, there you go. That was a book. I knew it was a book. Like, yeah, that would be the better question. Would be like, what's the best movie you ever saw that wasn't based on a book? You know? Because you can name plenty of movies that aren't based on books, but could you name any that were really like great?
Yeah, see, that's the key. So many of them, even if they're twisted around, like Apocalypse Now is based on a book. It's totally different from it, but it's still based on the book. There's so much of a crazy time between the two that it's like you almost have. It's almost tough sometimes to even single out or remember what movies are just movies from themselves and not adapted.
Like The Matrix.
Like The Matrix.
That's an original movie.
It is an original.
Star Wars.
Star Wars is
It's
an
an
original.
original movie. And like Star Wars is probably the best original movie ever. But I don't know, we'd have to go through more of them. You know? Like we could use the chat's help as well. If you guys can think of an original movie that was not based on a book like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. You can't even count the Marvel stuff because that's all based on comics. So it's got to be an original thing that was just a movie. Jurassic Park doesn't count. Jaws doesn't count. James Bond doesn't count.
Casablanca and Citizen Kane, those older ones, they were not based on.
Yeah, okay. Well, Casablanca's a classic, yeah. Humphrey Bogart. And Ingrid Bergman, right?
Yeah. Whose daughter, Isabella Rossellini, continually is a reader at the
Processional.
yeah, she's reading this year actually.
Rocky, that's a good one. That's a good movie. I love the original Rocky. Are you kidding me? What a fantastic.
I was just thinking of Rocky a lot today. We were talking about films yesterday. Do you realize what Sylvester Stallone had to go through to make that movie? It's I saw an interview with him just a couple years, I guess when the first Creed came out, and he was like, he had written the screenplay. They wanted to buy the he was dirt broke, had no money whatsoever, and they wanted to pay him a fortune for the screenplay, and he's like, no, I want to direct it. And at the time, that was unheard of. He had no experience whatsoever, and so they offered him like a pittance, like the lowest they could offer him to buy the screenplay, and he could direct it. And the entire time he was directing it, Columbia was standing over his shoulders, waiting for him to do anything wrong so that they could fire him and take it away from him. He had to sell his dog because he couldn't afford to keep the dog and keep living and doing this. I mean, it's just one hurdle after another for him to be able to direct this film that he wrote. I was like, wow. I had so much more respect for him after I.
Did you know he bought the dog back later on?
Yeah, but at the time he's like, it broke my heart. He's like, I loved that dog. That dog was the biggest part of my life. He's like, and I had to sell it because I couldn't afford what they were going to pay me for that screenplay to direct it and keep the dog. Wow. Because he didn't know how it was going to end up. Just crazy.
The best movie not based on a book was, I've never even heard of whatever this is. Daryl. What is that, Eric? Why did you spell it like that? That's what the movie's called. D-A-R.
I've heard of this movie, and it is spelled that way. I've never seen it.
Really? It's new. It's old. It's never heard of it.
He was a total nothing. And he like
even Shawshank, you know, it's like Stephen King. So
yes,
like, you feel like that's
right.
the best movie ever, right? Pound for pound, ba ba ba.
Yeah.
Everybody debates.
It's still Stephen King.
That's the best movie of all time. Yeah, it's interesting.
Hey, Shessie.
Most of the great stuff comes from books.
The dog in Rocky 2 is a dog. Well, Rocky 2 sucked.
No.
The second one's terrible.
No, it is not.
Yeah, it is. It's terrible in that. Here, just one section's terrible. The section that is terrible is it fell into the formula. When they had Mickey die in the way that he did, in the whole hospital thing, it turned into a Hollywood movie that Rocky, in and of itself, had avoided. Yes, he wins the fight at the end, and you get the culmination that you really wanted in the first movie, which was what made the first movie brilliant. He doesn't win, but it started a pattern of from 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It falls into the screenwriting mode, the screenwriting class, the whole thing that Norm's talking about. That is present in 2 in a way that is just not there in the original, and so that's why I hold it against that, because they turned the plot off for about 20 minutes to focus on Mickey dying instead of incorporating it a little bit better. And it's just a little too much like a screenplay, a screenwriting book.
I thought that Mickey died in the Rocky where he fought the dude, what's his name there, the big Slovak dude.
He does. It's the kid. No, it's the kid. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, that is that moment in Rocky 3, or Rocky. It's Rocky 4 where Mickey dies. It's the kid. His child being born. That's where it is. It's when Adrian gives birth to the kid and the kid's having trouble. That was the part of Rocky 2. And each one of them has a
favorite Rocky lines. Like, what if you catch a pet shop disease or something?
Yeah, it does have good lines. I like it. I just don't like how it's suddenly more like a regular 3-act movie. I love the third one though. The third one is fun. The third one brought kind of a fun to it that the first 2 didn't have. Apollo dies in 4, yeah, because those are the clips that they're referring to in Creed.
2 Apollo Creed. 2 is Apollo Creed.
2 is when Apollo Creed loses to him. 1 is when Apollo Creed wins. Yeah. 2 is the rematch.
Is the rematch, yeah.
3 is when
he fights Mr. T in the beginning.
The very
and he
beginning.
Fights the Slovakian guy.
Slovakian guy's in 4. That's 4. 4 is when he goes to Russia. 3 is when he's at odds. Apollo becomes
Dolph
his coach.
Lundgren. That's his name.
Yeah, Dolph is in 4.
Lundgren.
That's 4.
That's not Rocky 3.
Nope, that's 4.
What?
Rocky 3 is when Apollo Creed. It's Mr. T, and it's when Apollo is his coach, and they go to fight each other at the end, and you never know the end of it, who won, until Creed, when he finally tells the kid. Dolph Lundgren in Russia is number 4. That's where he met his wife, Brigitte Nielsen. That was number 4 in '86. And then 5, which I liked the 5th one, and was supposed to be the very end, and he was supposed to die in it, where he loses everything. He went over to Russia in 4, and as he's in Russia, his accountants and managers clear out his money. So he comes back from Russia and he has nothing, and has to go back to being on the street and just scrapping the way he was in the first one. I liked that one. And that was it for years and years and years. And then they went back into the Rocky Balboa and then the Creed movies, in the last 10 years really. Clubber Lang, that's right, Mr. T.
Don't forget Thunder Lips, baby. I know, I was going to say, isn't that Mr. T? Thunder Lips?
The audience dies in 5.
My prediction, pain.
Pain.
So you have chosen the way of... Jeff Guthrie in the house as well. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here. If you guys haven't hit the like button, please do that. We are about an hour and a half in. Looking at bag number 7 as our last bag, since that will complete this first booklet. And I think it's just the second half of this house. Yeah, so it's going to be nice and easy. And then
First Blood is good.
we'll go find some food out there. Maybe we'll just go get the Thai food. You like Thai food? Let's go get some Thai food. Egg foo young and lo mein.
We had there's a restaurant in New Orleans. A lot of restaurants uptown were just houses that you would pull up out in front. You'd knock on the door and you'd come inside, and the living room was like 5 tables. And one of the very best ones I ever went to was a Thai restaurant that was in this living room in uptown New Orleans. Just fantastic food. I'd never had it before, and fell in love. Hi, Amanda. Serenity now and sanity later. Hello, strange oddity. Yeah, because again, in First Blood is more of the realistic one. Then they go to Rambo and he turns into Superman, and it's just an entirely different.
Remember Rambo 1 was big, little puffy. Rambo 2 was all cut up. Remember that? It's kind of how you looking like right now, man.
It's the entire thing, and you just summed up.
Shredded like a Julian salad, man.
That's why.
Got any tips? Any tips? Give me that fucking map, man. we are lost.
See, he's proving his point right here.
We are lost.
He's proving his point right here.
Come on. You know Rambo 1 was big. Come on. That's how you look right now, man.
I love how they call it Rambo 1 too.
Yeah,
it's like Rambo 1. It's not Rambo 1,
Oh, I never even realized that that's even funnier.
Yeah,
it's
they call it Rambo 1. Yeah, there's no Rambo 1.
Rambo 1. When he was big, but a little puffy. But Rambo 2, he was all cut up.
Rambo 2. Because the third one is actually called Rambo 3. It's First Blood, Rambo, and then Rambo 3.
Oh my God! See, this is what I mean. Like you could just.
And then Rambo 4, and then Rambo 5.
It's endlessly funny, that movie. Endlessly. God, I never even realized that none of the Rambos are even called that.
Nope.
It'd be like saying, you remember Harry Potter 1?
Oh, it'd be yeah. Or Fantastic Beasts 7.
Yes.
Or 9. Fantastic Beasts 9.
Remember Fast and Furious 6?
Puffy early, then ripped up. Yeah, he was nowhere near the shape that he was. And even now, I've seen they've been showing the previews for the NFL has some sort of link with whatever his new series is. He's got a TV series now, Stallone, that's starting out, Tulsa something. It's like a CIS or a private investigator thing where he's like the main guy. They were playing it all last weekend between the games, and he's just like, he's gigantic. But he's not very tall. I mean, he's not a big man. But he's ripped. Or Copland. You ever see Copland? That was him and Ray Liotta. That was supposed to be his big dramatic return. It is one of the most boring movies. He sits there just looking at the screen the whole time. Just, he has no. It's ridiculous. And the best part of it is all the bad guys have like these amazing lines, and he's just like, But it was his big dramatic return. Oh, it's so awful. It's one of the best bad want to be serious movies ever made. You could make a drinking game out of every time they cut to him, and he's just like, Yeah, exactly. I'm interested in it too, Dave. I saw that when I first saw the commercial. I'm like, I don't know about this. But after about the 4th or 5th time, I'm like, all right, I will give it a try.
Shia says, what is the best TV shows you have seen on Netflix besides Stranger Things? Oh, wow. Well, that cuts out the number 1, of course. God the best thing on Netflix besides Stranger Things, well, it's technically gonna be a series because season 2 is coming. It's gotta be Squid Game, right? 100 million people watched it. It was the most watched thing of all time. Like, you saw it? Bananas, dude. Bananas. Foreign, so you'd like it. You know, it's Korean.
Yeah.
So it's not like, yeah, Squid Game's a banana show. Super good. House of Cards was super good until all the Kevin Spacey stuff went down. So
Yeah, even with that, he was
Yeah,
when he gets a little southern. I mean, when he tries the southern or whatever, he just loses me
Okay.
every time.
You did not like Francis Underwood.
Yeah. My brother absolutely loved it. I loved the concept. I actually loved his lines. I just can't. I can never buy him using that accent when he comes in closer. If he had played that the way that he played, what's the movie with the race car that he did right before he got in trouble with the kid racing around? Love that. And if he played it, if he played that character like that, I would have loved this movie. He did not need the accent.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Samaritan, yeah. Dave, I don't think I've told you this story yet. Frank Stallone, his brother, is obsessed with my younger brother. Obsessed. He wants to be best friends with him. It's crazy. My brother ran a club in Los Angeles that Frank Stallone used to sing in like once a month. He texts him all the time. He signs things. It's crazy. He wanted to take him to a shooting range. He's obsessed with my brother.
The most popular Christmas toy this holiday season? Tickle Me Elmo. The least popular toy this holiday season? Tickle Me Frank Stallone.
I don't even. So he would sing at the club like once a month. And this one time, right before my brother left the job, Frank Stallone and Frank Stallone's mom was in the audience, and Sylvester was there as well. Had brought the mother, and he said Sylvester was so uncomfortable, all but looking at his watch, get me out of here. I want nothing to do with this. But he was there because he was keeping his mother company at this thing. I was like, oh boy. That's fun. That's fun. Well, you gotta come watch Frank with me.
The best TV show on Netflix is the original Knight Rider with David Hasselhoff. What? I didn't know that Netflix had a Hasselhoff Knight Rider show.
My other brother, the lawyer, was obsessed with Knight Rider. We watched it every single week, every time. Whenever we take a road trip or go anywhere, he had his little toy Trans Am. It wasn't a toy, but like this big that he dragged with him everywhere.
Kid.
Loved it. Even though the Trans Am was really his Smokey the Bandit Trans Am, but 3 years later, you know, when suddenly Knight Rider's out, he just kind of in his own mind transformed it to a kid.
Netflix has had some bangers.
The chess one wasn't bad.
Oh yeah, it was a miniseries, Queen's Gambit.
That's probably the last thing I saw on Netflix, TV series wise.
Banger.
You can even call it that.
But yeah, Stranger Things is definitely your best offering. That's worth your Netflix membership right there. 100,000%. God, what a show. When it is on, and it's been on for a while.
2016, that first series came out, and so we're like now on that crazy to think 6 years going on 7 years into that show, and they're starting to take Soprano time in between seasons.
Last season coming up.
But remember, they said that about 4. So I would believe it. I know, but it's like, you know, fool me once.
Yeah, I think the pandemic probably kind of messed with everything a little bit. But yeah, no, if they did it again, that would just be ridiculous. It would start to take away from.
Right. I'm almost still a little nervous for one more.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I wasn't a fan of Vecna or any of this 4th season stuff too much, but I still think that it hasn't fallen apart. Unlike The Sopranos, that gave me such an ambiguous, weird ending, although I did like everybody's kind of story coming to a wrap, and Game of Thrones, which I just hated and lost get to the end of. I tried though. That was my best attempt I'll probably ever give it. I hit that season where they all started time jumping, and I was like, that's the end of that. Good to know ya. Can anyone picture Pat driving in his car, talking back to him, what the car would say? What would your car say, Pat?
For a long time, we had a GPS that spoke in Mr. T's voice. So like when you made a wrong turn, it's like, gotta turn around, fool! You missed the exit! So a car talking back to me would, I will only have a car talk back to me if it's in Mr. T's voice. You're going too slow!
Yeah, that's funny. Cool. God, I love this stuff. Pat's car would say, what's in the red Solo cup?
What's the what?
Dave said, Pat's car would say, what's in the red Solo cup? Red Solo cup. Give up, let's have a party. Let's have a party. Drink the party. Okie dokie, young bloods, we have come to the end. This one was about a 2-hour stream as well. So this first section, first booklet, took 4 hours, and I was building pretty slowly, to be honest with you. We've been hanging. I like that we've slowed these things down. I think a huge problem before was that I was trying to fly through these sets. Forgot to enjoy the build along the way. Thankfully, I've got a fantastic co-host here to keep you all preoccupied. We've chatted movies.
Aww.
Let's have a party. Pat has all the shortbread gone.
No, there's one section left. Pretty close though.
Can we reverse the whole neighborhood for dinner tonight, Tom? Claire, I miss you. I know you weren't banned from my chat, so I don't know why I don't see anymore, but I love reading stuff like that because it's just like cave paintings. It's like
Made with manure, I agree.
yeah, good luck. Good luck trying to figure this out. Manure McGonagall.
The kids teased her relentlessly
Yeah.
as a child at Hogwarts.
Relax, manure. See, wouldn't want to be a Lighthouse book 1 because you're done. Never going to be looked at again.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Now you just paper forever. Unused paper forever.
There's a way we could use it again.
STP. Good thing about the red side. Never ever forget Pat's live stream on Church Street near the Amway Center Arena. There you go.
Who was that?
Brian.
Brian loves those. We did a couple of those, Brian. It was fun. the cigar store.
Here we have it. All good to go. I gotta get 6 AA batteries.
Batteries.
6 AA batteries I need to get, and then I can put this motor on to make sure that this little thing spins. I'll tell you right now, if it doesn't spin, it's gonna be a problem. Genius! Absolutely crazy. To get this kind of an angle, to build that whole thing on the rotating pad, and to have it locked in with this little piece of fish that has to, I mean, sometimes these new age builds really kind of blow my mind. Even the fireplace has a little glow to it. Oh, just from the natural light. The angle of it is all great. I mean, look at the fact that this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sharp.
No, it's just amazing.
It's like
That's just so. It makes it so interesting.
little things like how this is held on
Yeah.
at the bottom,
Yeah.
like so that it kind of looks like it's
An anchor.
The little cave, and this
We'll
is
have
where the
anchors.
switch is that we flip to make the motor go on and on.
Oh, look at there's an anchor at the bottom of my glass as I'm saying this.
Red anchor cup.
Do you know that these have anchors on the bottom?
Oh, the light's coming from the actual.
Oh, here.
That's why it's
Oh,
light.
because it's
because
opened up
there's
in the
light.
back. That's really cool. Wow. And you can, both sides. You can see the lead on the other side. Now, too.
That's trippy. Wow. See, this is shit I'm talking about. It's just crazy. Lego blows my mind. The little details. Any batteries around the house that
Wow.
are all used up? I did. I had 5, but that's the 6. I actually never used batteries. I was thinking about that the other day when I had to swap out the camera batteries. I was like, wow. Nowadays, everything's rechargeable. Remember when you had Xbox batteries, remote control batteries? That's the only thing I have now is TV remotes and that type of stuff. Everything else you plug in. Even the stuff they used to joke about needing batteries for all gets plugged in. And on that lovely thought, appreciate you guys. Thanks everybody for being here. If you're just joining in now, which it looks like a lot of you are, feel free to go back and watch yesterday's build, scrub through, check out today's build a little bit more. We will be finishing this up over the week. I am bound to take a few days off this week from the parks with as busy as things have been, so we will finish this lovely thing, and maybe I'll be a little more focused on doing some bricks fundraising. Eric, that's an industrial strength. It's funny. Dave, thanks, man. Chezzy, Purple Queen as well. Brian, Melody, Lindsay, Clara, with all your cave paintings. Jeff, thank you, man. Appreciate you very much. And thanks everybody for the PayPals and
Thank you.
donations to the bricks over the past few days. That goes a long way. Amanda, thank you. Bye. See you on the next one.